Whoop. Hello. So quite a few of you wanted me to make a deeper breakdown of my Tech Priest slash Servo Skull slash General Adeptus Mechanicus Warhammer voice, so I thought that I would go ahead and do that. Let me shrink again. Bloop, 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 bloop. That's good enough, right? So right now I have it just like I did in the video I posted before, so...
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh.
Right. So I have a bunch of stuff that I recorded. The way that I sound in the raw recording is what I discovered worked best with the effects that I have on there.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh.
I noticed that if I kind of tense up a little bit, and from the moment I understood the weakness, if I do that, for some reason it brought more clarity to the result, where if I talk normally, it didn't quite get the right effect that I wanted. But that's not really why you're here. Why you're here is to see how I did it. So basically, I wanted to make a more robotic, more mechanicus voice, because in a lot of the Warhammer media, reasonably so, you hear a lot of the voice actor and not a whole lot of robot. So I wanted to figure out a way to kind of blend the two. I wanted to make something that you could still have a good performance, but have it be funneled through a pipeline where by the end of it you get a very mechanical, synthesized result. So the best way to do that is to start with a Resynthesis plugin. This is not the first plugin that I started with. I originally had another plugin called BitSpeak. So if I put this down there instead, BitSpeak is like one of those old Speak and Spell toys, but made into a plugin.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh.
So you can see it starts working pretty quickly. You have kilohertz, you have your sample rate over here.
The weakness of my flesh. It disgusted me.
So it completely takes it and resynthesizes it, and your percussive sounds, your plosives, your fricatives, your that all turns into white noise. And so it's totally synthesized, and you can adjust a bunch of stuff with it.
I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine.
I'm like, okay, that sounds cool, but that doesn't sound like Warhammer. That sounds like a Speak and Spell, which is cool, but like not really what I was going for. I replaced this, so I don't remember the exact settings that I had it, but if I go ahead and I basically enable everything and put it into the chain, we can kind of see how it sounds here. And maybe this will be good. I don't know. I modified it once I changed this plugin out, so let's see what this sounds like.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me.
That's also pretty cool, right? But the reason I switched is because I wanted it to be clear. I wanted it to be clarity, so you could listen to the voice for a while and it wouldn't be grating on you, or that grating on you. It might be grating on you, but it's not going to be so aggressive and crazy that it hurts. I think if Warhammer was real, I don't think that would be a factor in the voices. In fact, I almost think that they'd want a really aggressive voice, but we're humans, and if, like, I don't know, someone... Sorry, you might be hearing my cat in the background howling at me, or trying to find my wife. But anyway, as humans, we don't want to be annoyed, right? So we have to account for that in sound design. So if we listen to this a little bit again here,
The strength and certainty of steel.
If I turn the sample right,
I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine.
you can turn tracking down.
Your kind cling to your flesh as if it will not decay and fail you. One day the crude biomass you call a pebble will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you.
So yeah, that's cool, but that sounds old. 40K's in the future. We're gonna have better technology. So I switched to this other resynthesis plugin that is designed to be modern rather than have that specific speak and spell sound. This is gonna be more of a modern sound, and it's gonna be targeted toward music rather than just sound. But they have a bunch of different types of synth engines in here, which is pretty cool. So if I put this back, we get the voice again.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh.
So if I essentially solo this,
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh.
you can hear it's just my voice. This has different vocal engines in it.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me.
So yeah,
I
a whole
craved
bunch.
the strength and certainty.
I decided to go with this one because I think if I pitch it down all the way,
Certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine.
and I pitch shift it down,
Your kind cling to your flesh as if it will not decay and fail you.
yeah. So you get that.
I am already saved.
You get that very low frequency clicking, and that's essentially what the sound is made of. It's made of a bunch of clicks, like a synthesizer. It's just sped up because it's at a 0 octave and whatever. So what happens is this synthesizes the sound, and the mix should be on 100%. Where? Oh, there it is. Duh. I was looking for a knob. It's a slider. So it's 100%. So we're hearing no mixture of the dry signal and the wet signal. It's only 100% the wet signal. So it's 100% being funneled through resynthesized with this plugin. And then after it's resynthesized,
For the machine is immortal.
then I pitch it down with a pitch shifter, this is just the stock pitch shifter that came with Cubase 15. It's honestly a very smooth pitch shifter. It's definitely heavily inspired by Little Altar Boy by Sound Toys. It's lightweight, but it does its job, and it's really smooth. I have some other pitch shifters, but I really like this one, and this came free with Cubase 15. So then I run the synthesized voice through pitch shifter.
From the moment I understood the
Get that.
weakness of my flesh.
Of course, there's some reverb and stuff on this, but here, let me just turn that off, actually.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh.
So there we go. Get nice and clean. Then I do some compression,
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh.
just to bring it down, just compress it and bring the volume up. And then another equalizer.
From the moment I understood the weakness of
I believe
my flesh.
this is brightening it.
It disgusted me.
Okay, it's brightening
I
it
craved the strength and certainty
and
of
doing a little bit of de-essing. Then we get Phase Mistress, which just adds a little bit of texture.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and
So it's a very, very subtle stereoizer. I started with this preset, but then I adjusted it. I can't remember what I did, but I adjusted a little bit. It's very, very subtle because I didn't if you're hearing a person talk to you, you're hearing them with both your ears. So it's not 100% mono signal, but there's only one sound source. So it's not going to be overly stereo because there's only one sound source. There's a voice box. In this case, it's vocal cords or Vox system, some kind of mask speaker. Somehow the sound's going to be coming from one spot, but you're still going to be hearing it with both your ears. So I didn't want it to be completely mono, so I gave it just a tiny bit of spatial stereo width, and this did it really well. So I'm going to bypass it and turn it back on.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
It also brightens it a little bit, probably gives it a little bit of saturation. Just subtle. Then we get Codec, which is super fun. It's a free plugin. Yeah, all of these so far, they're all premium. Codec is free though. It's basically a bit crusher with extra steps. So in this case, I have it pretty much. I'm not trying to bit crush it, but it has cool glitchy dropout algorithms that just kind of randomly drop out the voice. So if I wanted to really dial in a performance and really dial in when the dropouts happened, I'd have to do it manually. This just kind of runs, so every time that plays, it's different, it's random. I've had some cases where the timing of the dropout is kind of bad, it messes up a word, makes it kind of hard to understand, and I've had other times where the dropouts are like perfectly timed. So here it is with it.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
So if I turn this up, if I turn the loss up, we're going to get those dropouts more often.
The moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to...
So, yeah, this is not a plugin review video, so I'm not going to talk about every single knob on these plugins, but that's the main one. I just wanted to basically have the audio have it be transparent through the plugin, but to just have those dropouts happen at like a 30% rate, and I think that is a really good frequency for the dropouts. Then I did another limiter on the end just to bring it
From the moment I understood the weakness,
just to bring it up a little bit more and control it a little bit more at the end. All right, then I have this gnarly bot. I just called it gnarly bot because it's a little bit more aggressive. So then I have a speaker simulator plugin that's just awesome. Basically, you get to choose a microphone and a speaker. So in this case, this sub kick is actually acting as the microphone, and then this crazy looking dark Soviet, quote unquote Soviet radio is the speaker. So now I add the speakers to it.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
So you hear, once it's going through the speakers, it becomes less stereo, less wide. The channel is more narrow.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me.
Which makes sense, right? We're going through a speaker. We're not, inside of your head. I'm not going to mess with any of this because I spent a long time dialing it in. I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, there's a bunch of options on speakers. Definitely check it out. If you do any kind of vocal anything, it's very powerful. And you can... a lot of good presets, and you can customize everything really well, and you can use just the speaker or just the microphone or whatever. So definitely check that out. Then I did some clipping just to bring this more to the forefront.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me.
And then a little bit of
I
EQ
craved the strength and certainty of steel.
just to brighten it up a little bit. And that plays, of course, in parallel.
The moment I understood the weakness of my...
So here's what it sounds like with my raw vocal going through it.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
Hear how it sounds kind of like a speaker. That goes into this, which is reverb, a little bit of brightening, saturation, and adding some subharmonics. The cool part of this, though, is the shaper box thing. So I used an envelope follower built into Cubase with his modulation, with his a Cubase modulator, and I tied it to the frequency of the LFO that modulates this range here. So I didn't want the entire signal to be modulated. I wanted just a particular signal range, a particular frequency range to be modulated. So you get that that flutter sound, but it's dynamic. It changes, it reacts to the voice. It's not just steady. Also, it's not the entire signal, because when you have that sound too much, it gets hard to understand.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me.
So you can see it's speeding up and slowing down and reacting to the envelope follower over here.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me.
So here's...
I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
You can hear what's happening.
I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine. Your kind cling to your flesh as if it will not decay and fail you.
So it's in there. It's just layered in there for a specific range to preserve all of the other sound design that I did and then preserve intelligibility. When you're dealing with distortion and all these things added together, you need to tame your sound as you go. So you end up using a lot of things to build up, but then also bring back. So you get this like almost like you can almost think of it as like compression. Like you're bringing a lot of stuff in, but that ends up exaggerating things that you don't need to be exaggerated, so you need to bring it back down, but keep the core, keep the energy that you have. Also, so this gnarly bot and this original audio track are being fed into Vox Mix. So these are being combined and then sent into Vox Mix. Gnarly Bot is a send, and then they both go into Vox Mix. Then I have this third one, which is just it gives it a bright center, which is why it's called Brighten. So when we add this on there, this is just a parallel track, so a send. It's just another send from the original, and it does not go to the Vox Mix. It bypasses that and just goes straight to the stereo out.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh,
and this one is really, really subtle, but that's the point.
It disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
So if I just loop this section here.
I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
It's super subtle, but there's just an extra bit of depth that this brings into it. So you can kind of hear it better if I mute Gnarly Bot.
I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
Now I'm gonna exaggerate it by just turning this all the way up. So it's on -16. So if I bring it up,
I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
So essentially, it's just adding a really band-passed, bright version of the original audio track into the whole signal again. just to give it that. And it's in mono, not literally in mono, but practically in mono. It's down the center. So you get this extra level of clarity right in the middle, just for ultimate clarity. I said clarity again, but I mean like you'll be able to understand it easier because this is in there. And it's really subtle, but this is something that certain sound systems will exaggerate. So like I have some really, really bright in-ear monitors, so that would be way more audible on those. You might be able to hear it better on your phone actually when I'm turning it off and on. But yeah, that's basically it. I tried to say some other things. What's over here?
There is no truth in flesh.
So if I had a voice actor that naturally had a low voice or a really nice voice, I could dial it in to balance out the tech conversion to original performance of the voice actor. I could dial it in and still preserve this essence of synthesis in there. So if you're a voice actor and you just want to like send me some stuff, like that'd be cool, just for fun. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching.